Hey, y'all, listen. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. Welcome into the building, okay? I'm glad to be here hanging out with y'all. You know, I love coming to trending topics, and I hope y'all love it too. And I know most of y'all do because I be seeing y'all every night supporting the diva. And y'all know what y'all got to do. Hit that like button, okay? That's the biggest support you can ever get me is hit the like button and to subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Listen. For all the people that, been my day one, so to speak, that been riding with me for a long time. Y'all know over here, I tell Diva's truth. I ain't saying this the truth. I'm saying this Diva truth. I don't know if y'all remember way back when we was talking about before President Trump got elected and we was talking about, the president election and who. And I told y'all, I said Biden has memory issues. People want to slap me, beat me down, but I know it always happens to me. And they was like, no, Diva, this, that, and the other. I told y'all also that he was going to step down before the election. I was like, no way, the rules of this, that, the other. And I said, okay, what happened? He ended up stepping down. Now, listen, I know a lot of time the words that come out of my mouth is not of the popular opinion, but I told y'all in this Diddy case that all of them was drinking, drugging, and sexing. I told y'all that. Now it's Trending Topics Wednesday, people. We got stuff to talk about, and the title is called What a Mess. I also told y'all that this whole case is a circus. It's a circus act. They might as well go ahead and bring the popcorn, the cotton candy out there. You know, when I was growing up, the circus used to come to town every year around March, I'm going to say time period. Around maybe March, April, or February, something like that, down to Madison Square Garden in New York. Every year the circus would come. They'd be out there selling the lights, cotton candy, the popcorn, all of that. And this whole trial is a circus. You got Bryana. She comes up on this stand today. She talked about how the substances was going back and forth between all of them. They all were doing the drugs. But I done told y'all that already. They all were doing the drugs. And you know what? I had an epiphany. I said, you want to know why he was so comfortable just grabbing on people, touching the people, who, and they're saying, and I'm not saying it's not, and they're saying later on that he argued me. You want to know why he was so comfortable? Because they was all doing it together all the time anyway. So he felt like when he wanted to, allegedly, he can just grab, touch, and do whatever. She wanted to throw in her testimony that she bought some cocoa for Diddy once. She used to buy and sell to Cassie or bring Cassie or give it to Cassie or sell it to Cassie, whatever she was saying. But I said to myself, I already know what went down. They were addicts. You're not going to get too many sane people. Listen, if I drank every day, all day long, and I like to party, it's very rare that I'm going to have a friend that is constantly hanging out with me and they don't like the party and they're not drinking too. It don't work like that. Like people hang together. You like the party, I like the party. It's a 99% chance we're going to hang together. You like the party, I don't like the party. We ain't going to be together like that much. Listen, Amy J, let me tell you something. They was doing more than that together all day long. The difference between them and regular crack addicts or drug addicts on the street was they had money. They had money. So that's why they needed the, what do you call it? The IV infusions. But they have money to do all of that. Where the people on the street, they don't. And when they was all knocked out, passed out, half standing up or whatever the case may be, nobody needed to see them because they could hide away in the mansions and the hotels or wherever they was. So she wanted to say Diddy was giving her substances all the time, because that's what y'all did together. Why don't you stop? One minute she's admitting to being a dealer, bringing it to Cassie, getting some for Diddy. Listen, if I was just a regular assistant and you told me to go get you some cocoa, I wouldn't even know where to go. I'd be like, what? And you told me go get the milk, the eggs, and the bacon, then yeah, I know. Go to the supermarket. Go to the corner store. Order it online. But you tell me to go get the cocoa, the ketamine, and all that. I'll be like, what? From where? From who? All of them was about that life. All of them. And like I said last week, including the innocent one, Cassie. All of them was about that life. All of them was getting it in. All of them was doing what they did until they had enough. And when they had enough, that's when they left. All of them, Sandy Shants, all of them. But I told y'all that. But y'all needed Bryana to get on the stand and tell y'all what I said was so. They was all doing it. In all of his outbursts, because I think one of the witnesses even has said that. All of his outbursts happened when he was doped up, coked up, or whatever the case may be. Yes, including, I call her the innocent one, Mom, including Cassie. You know, her testimony was immense considering how many times she met with the government. Because I wouldn't be surprised if she still dib and dab. And listen, even if you are on nothing, being a witness in the trial is nerve-wracking. And that's if you on nothing. That's if you sober, 100% sober. Being a witness on the trial, and then you're sitting in front of the person that you're talking about. That ain't easy. You got everyday friends off of little situations that can't sit in your face and tell you the truth. Imagine having to get in that stand, he's sitting right there, and you got to tell this story. And then somebody got to cross-examine you. Then the defense asks her just straight up, are you lying? And I already told y'all this too. Yeah, Sandy, listen, she was a disaster. But I kind of already told y'all this too. All of them are half telling the truth. And that's where the problem begins and ends. You got immunity. Get up there, tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. If I was in that orbit, I would have just got there. Listen. I don't know what y'all want from me. I was a different person at that time. At that time, we was all drinking, sleeping together, and drugging. What do you want? What do you want me to tell you? You was already doing what you do. You knew where to get the substances from, but somehow, some way, he forced drugs on you. Girl, I need you to stop. And Diddy got to be real strong. He dangled her over the balcony. She didn't slip. She didn't fall. She didn't nothing. She was dangling off the balcony and she survived. Then he just lifted her up and threw her down on the tables. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just telling y'all. We got the other witness that said Diddy came, charged at her, what was it, Capricorn Clark, and pushed about 20 to 30 feet. Yes, he's Superman. Oh, yeah, hung her by the tatas. Listen. I'm over this trial, but we got a few more weeks. Now, listen, they said one witness going to be on the stand for a whole week. I don't know what this one going to give us. But it's been a lot going on. Child. Flip, can we tell the truth and shame the devil? I don't even know when they did make these appearances. I don't even know how they look half sober. But you know what? Diddy wore sunglasses a lot. Now you looking back and you thinking on that and you understand why. But I think that what was I gonna say? I think that like I said, the IVs and all that helped them. Amy J, probably D-Rock or KK. I don't know. Christina needs to sit down somewhere though. I wouldn't come up if I was Christina. Like Diddy said, Christina gets stuff done. He said it in a different way, but he said Christina gets stuff done. We heard from this is Eddie Garcia. He said that Christina called him. And then when Christina couldn't do it, she put Diddy on the phone to close the deal. Eddie, his angel. The angel came to court and spoke against you, Diddy. But we're going to talk about the Diddy trial updates. We're going to get into it. What a mess. Yeah, Christina may not have, I don't know if they're going to, if they give Christina immunity, this thing is really a complete another joke. Because some people should have been charged with Diddy. So you're so concerned. He couldn't have done this without co-conspirators. So you let all the co-conspirators stay on the street and you just want to lock Diddy up? It's messy. So, it's this title tonight is called What a Mess, because we got Ariana Biermann, Kim Zolciak from the Real Housewives of Atlanta, formerly, and Don't Be Tardy. Her mom, Kim Zolciak, stole her daughter's money. You got to be a low down dirty something when you taking money from your kids. And to this day, because Ariana's on the new show Next Gen, Roy and I is going to recap that tomorrow. To this day, Kim is asking her kids, her older daughters, for money. She says she saved up all the money. And she didn't find out until 2 years ago that the money was gone. And to this day, her mother calls her and asks her for money because she got younger siblings. The worst, come on, most shameful. The worst thing in the world is you had those kids, Kim. You up here still fronting and stunting on the social media. I watched it, Emmanuel. I'm going to recap it tomorrow. So far, I like it. The Next Gen New York City. So you still fronting on the Instagram and the social media. We're in designer clothes, but yet in the meanwhile time, back in the background, you begging your kids for money. Dreadful. Dreadful. And her and Kroy are the luckiest people in the world. It took forever with their house, and their house been in foreclosure forever. I've never seen anybody get away with that. They owe back taxes. Meanwhile, Peter Thomas is locked up for the tax situations, and Kim and Kroy is still running around free. The justice system is ridiculous. You got a real crime right there. They running around free. They owe taxes. Peter had to go to jail. Listen, I'm not wanting to send them to jail because then where the little siblings going to go? You stole your kids' money? We're going to talk about it. Then Bryana McKnight, may his son Nico rest in peace. Bryana McKnight, something's wrong with him. I don't know if he got dropped on the head at birth, after birth, if he keeps bumping his head against the wall. I don't know what's wrong with him, but the man got issues, and he got them bad. He got them bad. So when his son Nico passed away, Nico's uncle, which is Bryana McKnight's brother, Claude, he did a TikTok saying my nephew passed away, blah, 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 and had cancer, so sad, and whatever else. Well, Bryana McKnight, it pissed him off that his brother Claude made that announcement on TikTok. Instead of him thinking about his son that is no longer here and saying, you know what? My son is gone. I wish we could have got together and mended fences and mended things before he left. But may he rest in peace. And you say something else nice. But instead, Bryana McKnight goes to social media to blast his brother. Listen, yeah, that man is trash, period, Flip. You ain't never lie. He's trash. Let me tell you something. I never understand a woman like his wife. I don't know how you want that energy in your life. I won't want that dark energy attached to me. Bryana McKnight got dark energy. And if I was his wife, sickening. Come on, sickening. If I was his wife, I would be encouraging him not to do the nasty work that he does. But if he continued, I'd be like, deuces, I'm out. I'm not doing this. I'm not having all of that negative energy attached to me because you're going to take us both down. Dreadful, disgusting, despicable, unbelievable. Your son is gone. And the best you got is you pissed at your brother because he mentioned something about it on the social media. People are wild. What a mess. And, you know, before I bring the people in the building, let me say this about the Diddy situation. If the Southern District of New York really wanted Diddy to be locked up and to pay for whatever they feel that he did, they should have brought better charges that they could connect with and better witnesses. I feel like almost every witness that came on that stand still had a little something going on. And all of them were complicit with the said crimes. They were a part of it. They got down with it. They was down with the get down. It was down with the get down. And now, yeah, they definitely overcharged, Mo. And now that Diddy's in trouble, I really want to say this too, though. All of the witnesses, I don't think not a one of them came up there willingly. They had to. I think they was punked into it. So just as gangster as Diddy is, the Southern District of New York is gangster too. They had their case. They didn't find what they thought they was going to find when they raided them homes. So they punked every single witness. You come down here and talk or you will be charged. Or Dad, you like, wait a minute, hold on now. Then I guess I got to talk. And that's why their stories are all over the place, because they're trying to help the Southern District of New York not incriminate themselves. And in addition to that, not tell the truth, because they also don't want the public to know the truth either. Yeah, that used to be me. And now I'm doing something different. I got my own business. I got a job. And you know what? And then I get up on that stand and say what crazy I did. I may mess up the rest of my life. I ain't got time for all of that. Give me immunity. I'ma say as little as possible and hope I can get off that stand, go home, and mind my business. This is a reach for the prosecution. A reach. It's a reach. And it has nothing to do with any guilt, innocence, or what Diddy might have did, not have did. What this case is about and what they charge him with, it's a reach. If we are on day 15 and I'm still trying to figure out where the RICO at, it's a problem. And then they had the witness, and I'm about to bring the people in the building. They had a forensic witness come up there to tell us how this video from the Intercontinental Hotel, it wasn't altered. And I'm like, we're wasting money. This man is getting $295 an hour to tell us about a video where Cassie got beat down. I wouldn't care if it was altered, not altered. The fact remains, Diddy himself on his Instagram said he was sorry. So whether you put this piece over that piece over that piece, the fact is we know he hit her. Anyway, guys, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called What a Mess. We got the Diddy trial. We got Ariana Biermann talking about her mother. Or actually, she said her parents stole her money. And then we got who else do we got? I'm sorry. We got Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight is a piece of nasty work. Nasty work. Let me bring the people in the building. Hey Wayne.
Hey Diva.
Hey Julius. Listen, let's get into this. Let's
Hey
get into
y'all, hit the like button. Oh yeah, Diva for the singer. It's Brian Demon McKnight.
There you go, boom. Okay. So yeah, we all got Cassie fatigue, Mo, because they're putting this whole case on Cassie back, which is not right either. They putting this whole case on Cassie back because every witness that come up there, they Cassie name somehow was in it. Right? Even the security guard that said he got paid off, he said, did he FaceTime Cassie? And Cassie said she want the video to go away too. It's always connected. All roads lead back to Cassie. But anyway, so today, on the witness stand, we had Bryana, okay, telling about how she got hung over the ledge and she got thrown and knives was thrown and drugs was taken. Let me go ahead and share screen. Let's get into this. Child, listen, Cassie done had that baby. They do need Cassie back on that stand. But the only good thing for the defense, if Cassie come back on the stand, she won't be pregnant. And they won't have to feel as guilty trying to really drill her in. Let me see. All right, let me go into this. Let me share a screen. So Diddy trial, tensions flare during Bryana testimony. Defense asks point blank if she's telling the truth. So Diddy's defense team came to life during their cross-examination of Bryana, with one of his attorneys straight up asking if she was telling the truth on the stand. The fashion designer started testifying Wednesday morning and continued into late afternoon. And during the cross-examination, Westmoreland, that's one of Diddy's lawyers, her first name I want to say is Nicole, asked questions about the alleged incident where Bryana claims Diddy threw a knife at Cassie and she threw it back. That is her. Nicole asked Bryana what started the incident, and Bryana says she doesn't know. Nicole fired back by asking if she was even telling the truth about it, a question the prosecution objected to immediately. Judge Ron sustained the objection. Nicole then asked if she remembered telling the prosecution that Diddy and Cassie had gotten into multiple knife fights, and Bryana admitted she doesn't recall saying that either. Bryana ultimately says she stand by what she testified to today, that she was staying with Cassie and Diddy woke them up, charged into the house, and allegedly chucked a knife at her. She says Cassie threw the knife back. Bryana testified to using drugs with and purchasing drugs for Cassie and Diddy over the years, saying she provided Cassie with drugs like Oxycontin. She also testified about an incident where she says Diddy dangled her off a balcony when she was either smoking or about to smoke a blunt with him, claiming he yelled, "You know what the F you did," while her feet dangled. Ultimately, she says she pulled back. She was pulled back. He pulled her back up, slamming her into the balcony furniture as he did. She says the impact gave her a huge bruise on her leg and caused her neck pain. Bryana openly admitted to having a drug problem during her time in Diddy and Cassie's orbit, and it seems the defense is digging into that and her memory of these times too. Now she's the shorter one, so that's Bryana right there. Let me just. This is her coming out of court.
Bryana, why did you lie on the oath after telling them people that Ray J was the plug? You know Ray J selling drugs, everybody in Hollywood. Why did you lie on the oath? You already told the government you gonna recant it on stage. This guy.
All right, so that so much to pause that. Okay, let me share screen one more time. Hold on one second. So Diddy trial accuser says Diddy gave her lots of drugs, claims she also sold to him and Cassie. So Bryana, a fashion designer who is suing Diddy for $10 million, took to the stand against him, and she testified that she bought drugs for him and Cassie. Bryana, who also goes by the name Banner, began her testimony Wednesday morning in the rap mogul's federal trial in New York City, and she touched on the allegations introduced in her civil suit. Once again, alleged Diddy held her over the edge of a balcony and threw a knife at Cassie during a different incident. In the lawsuit, Bryana said he came over to Cassie's apartment and attempted to grope her. And she says when she resisted, he allegedly took her out to the balcony and held her off of it. Bryana said Wednesday she was sleeping on the couch with her ex-girlfriend when Diddy stopped by. She says she brought her ex to a bathroom to shield her from what she anticipated was going to happen next. She says she went out to the balcony. She said she either lit up or was about to light up a blunt. When Diddy came up behind her and lifted her onto the railing of the balcony, she said Diddy yelled, "You know what the F you did?" But she responded she didn't, prompting Diddy to toss her against the balcony furniture. Bryana said Cassie stepped onto the balcony and asked Diddy, "Did you just hang her over the balcony?" Bryana said Diddy then left, and she left too, with a huge bruise on my leg and back and neck pain. Diddy denies Bryana's allegations against him. Prosecutors asked Bryana about her friendship with Cassie, and she testified they often took drugs and went shopping together. Bryana said Diddy's gave her and Cassie numerous drugs over the years, including ketamine, cocoa, Mary J, and a drug she referred to as G. Bryana testified that she didn't just use drugs with Cassie either. She also purchased them for her, supplying her with a steady stream of Oxycontin. She says Cassie always paid for her back for the drugs. As for Diddy, Bryana says she brought cocoa for him on one occasion. Bryana says she had one experience with Puff that particularly frightened her, claiming that on a shopping trip with Cassie in April 2016, 1 month after Diddy beat Cassie up at the Intercontinental Hotel, Diddy texted Cassie asking where they went. Bryana testified that Diddy didn't say Cassie a list of places she'd been with Bryana, proving he already knew every move they made that day. Oh, God. We'll go around. I got more stuff to introduce, but we'll stop there. Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, you would think a case like this, gradually gets better, more information. But it looks like they're going to have whatever amount of weeks is left of more testimony like this. I mean, you kind of hoping for, they say the best is yet to come. But everything coming is still like the one before.
Facts.
Like how many times you have to tell somebody this person did this and they did all the same thing? I mean, does it make the case any better because 5 people said it or 3 people, So I'm hoping it's going to get a little more on because a lot of it's the same things we're hearing. I'm not no lawyer, all this stuff, but I don't know how they tying everything together. Maybe I missed it all. But, it's kind of like if the next few weeks are going to be more like this, they could wrap this up in a week. That's it.
I agree with you. And Elite, you're right. So they gave the drug dealer immunity, but Diddy's on trial for RICO. It's crazy. Katrina, your thoughts?
Maybe because he was the one that was buying the drugs. It's crazy. I'm still stunned on the point where he said he hung her over the balcony by her breast. And you said your neck was hurting, child. I would have a corset or something around my breast, and somebody holding me over with my breast over a ledge, and that's the only thing he's holding on to, you girl. Jesus. But yeah, it's the same. We use substances. We was partying. He did this to me. I seen him do this to Cassie. This is the thing. So the court, the prosecution should have just brought up battery or DV and left the other stuff out because we not getting none of that other than him buying the drugs or whatsoever and the car thing. But we're not getting nothing else. Everything is the same. Every person come up there, it's the same. We use drugs. We did Diddy bops. I mean, it's the same. There's nothing new. And that was making this case more boring. I hate to be the jurors that's listening to this stuff, even though the stuff is bad. But we hearing the same thing, and not one of us is hearing anything about no Rico. Only thing we hearing is domestic violence. I don't know. It's it's sad, but we'll see how this turn out. That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you, Savannah.
So here we are, day 15, 16, and I'm still struggling to understand the whole Rico charge conspiracy. Because I understand Rico to be a organization that is corrupt and involved in acts, illegal acts, whether it's against humans or the government. And I'm still yet to hear where the RICO applies to. All I'm hearing is about continued freak offs and adult parties with consenting adults, people who continue to stay there, did not leave. All of them were partaking in these events, to include his children. So this isn't anything new to me. This has been the story about Diddy and his parties for decades. I'm looking for the women and men that were trafficked, traded, sold. I'm looking for the money that was. Where's the money? I recall that they used the post office to um, to transfer money, transport money. I'm looking for all of this, and I'm still
Don't
yet
forget about the minors,
to hear.
Savannah.
Uh, yeah, that one too. Like we continuously hear for the past few days of people that were involved, and to me they still are under the control of vices. So they continue living this lifestyle. I'm not I'm tuning out more and more every day because it's the same thing and it's disappointing. um there The only thing that shocked me today was the Ray J aspect, as far as his name being brought up as a supplier. um I think that is a bigger story right there, because Ray J's been spiraling out of control for years, and is very interesting. And I would like to see some investigative reporting on Ray J. Is he involved in being a large distributor against celebrities, or is he undercover a what is that, informant? But something's up with Ray J. For some reason, his behavior has been erratic over the last few years. So I'm gonna try to hang in for another 3, 4 weeks, but I'm like Katrina, I'm getting bored. I'm ready to hear where the RICO actually begins in this organization.
Yeah, I think we're all getting tired. But Ray J's name has been thrown out there in a while because, yeah, that's what Sandy Chance, that's what they're saying too, that he allegedly supplies the fatal dose to Whitney Houston. Um, Listen, those people that know. That's all I can say. Julius, your thoughts?
I think the chat will agree with me with this assessment and probably my fellow panelists as well. This case has given me some annoying PTSD. Now, they said enterprise, Rico, racketeering. I'm thinking, ooh, like the mafiosos. They gonna go after Diddy like the mafiosos. Haven't heard squat. Except more about the freak offs. More about Cassie. I'm tired of hearing about Cassie. Tired of it. Tired of hearing about the freak offs. Let's get to the Rico. I'm already tuning out the case. It's like a revolving. It's like the same old thing is being said over and over again. It's annoying.
Thank you, Julius. Yeah, we shall see. I think that after this person that's supposed to be on the stand for a whole week, I think they're going to rest their case. So it's going to be interesting. And, it's going to be interesting if Diddy actually gets on the stand. I don't think he should, but that's my opinion. I don't think he should. I don't think nothing as good is going to come out of it. I think as smart as he think he is, the thing is, people, you can't outsmart the truth. You can't. So we shall see. And he may be the only person. He may be the only person that gets up on that stand and actually, sinks himself. Because right now the prosecution, to me, he don't really need to. The prosecution is doing a piss poor job, but that's my opinion. I'm gonna go ahead and roll into the next story, and the next story is sad to me because a lot of child stars from back in the day, have made complaints that all the money that they earned during their career as a child actor, the parents stole it, so to speak. Stole it, borrowed it, but usually if you borrow, you pay it back. So I'm gonna say the parents took their money, and as adults, they was like broke because none of their money was saved properly. But they since made a law after that. I have to look up to see when they made the law to say that their money had to go into some type of trust fund for them, so that the parents wouldn't spend up all the money. So let me go ahead and share screen because Kim's daughter is now on the show. And on the show, Next Gen NYC, it has a few, I'll say, of the Bravo Levity's children on there. And she said in her confessional pretty much that her mother took all of her money. So Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann's daughter, Ariana, claims they spent all her money amid divorce. So show her the money. Kim Zolciak's daughter, Ariana Biermann, claimed her mom and stepdad, Kroy Biermann, spent all of the money she made amid their contentious divorce. I have been on TV since I was 5 years old. The 23-year-old recalled in a confessional on Tuesday premiere of her Bravo reality series, Next Gen NYC. I did reality television with my family, and then I started posting on Instagram. I got my first brand deal when I was 14. I was doing like 3 posts a week, and you get paid astronomical to do a story or to do an Instagram post. And I made quite a bit of money. But unfortunately, my parents took my money. Ariana explained she can't say exactly what her parents used her money on, but found out that it was gone 2 years ago. I don't even know how much money I made over the time period, the reality star admitted. Nobody was honest. There was no transparency, and I had no idea where it actually went. Ariana also shared that her parents' financial woes has put a strain on her relationship with her boyfriend Hudson, especially when Ken 47 allegedly calls to ask her for money. Sometimes I don't tell Hudson when she's asking me for something because she's going through this crazy divorce and living with 4 kids. She shared in a confessional. I get it, and I never want money to destroy the relationship with my family. Page 6 reached out to Kim Zolciak for a comment, but did not immediately hear back. Over the last couple of years, the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum, the former Atlanta Falcons player 39, have faced financial hardship. Shortly after the couple filed to end their marriage, Kroy claimed the former Bravo star had a gambling problem that financially devastated their family. He alleged Zolciak spent over $600,000 on luxury islands from high-end stores such as Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, Chanel, and Chanel and more between 2016 and 2023. In February, the exes finally sold their Georgia mansion for $3 million less than their original asking price, after the home spent a year and a half on the market and faced foreclosure. And Next Gen comes on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Ariana also said that she found out she didn't even know that they was losing the home. She moved out because she got tired of all the tension and the lies and her mother asking for money. Very sad. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
Well, the reason she didn't see where all the money was going because it was going to the casino. Remember, she said she didn't see anything, no evidence of what she was. That's one of the quickest ways to lose a whole lot of money. Quick. She had a gambling problem. Let me tell you this quick story. I had a friend who told me her husband gave her $500 to go get her daughter a prom dress. She stopped by the casino and lost every dime.
Oh my God.
That was the daughter's prom dress. Okay, she went and got the money. She won it back, but still, I mean, she was hustling. But this is what gamblers do, you know. And to have Kim's name on it, I mean, maybe on her account or how, if she was over it. I won't say the good thing, but she still got time to earn that kind of money. You know, she got the show coming up, so she got an opportunity to get it back. So, you know,
Yes.
they're not gonna press charges on her mother and stuff like that. You know, she'll never see that again. She won't see that. So, you know, she got her reality show. I hope it does well. You know, get your bag. And I don't know what kind of influence that Kim has over her children. Because if she has influence like, you know, like that, look out for your money. Zip your purse. That's it.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Kim is ridiculous. She came on the show. She's buying, you know, she rolled off in the Cadillac Escalade from Big Papa. She was buying all this jewelry. She was buying these clothes for these kids, which ain't nothing wrong with that. And she told me, I don't know what it is. I just give them my credit card. Um, she was talking about everybody on that was broke. She put herself above all the other women. She married Kroy, which she said he had 20 million at that point in time. Um, but you go buy a house that you couldn't afford. You got put out of that house, had to go back to your townhouse. Then you went got this house, redid this house. Then you was at the casino all night gambling. You was buying these cars, leasing these cars, I guess, buying a boat, um, getting plastic surgery. Your kids got plastic surgery because they look just like you. You spent all this money, and oh, and don't forget the wine. She don't drink cheap wine, remember? She said that. So you had a lot of issues, and you honestly think that money was gonna stay? Because I'm quite sure you had spent over thousands and thousands on plastic surgery. And then you went out and you stole your child's money. Later you have a problem. You should have went in rehab because you have a gambling problem, an alcoholic problem, and a shopping product. Shopping product, a problem. You have an addiction. You got three. You is a three-time dictionary. Dictionary. Addicted. You're addicted to shopping. You're addicted to wine. You're addicted to gambling. And and another one, you're addicted to plastic surgery. So she got four. You're addicted to plastic surgery. And to go and spend your child money is totally, totally ridiculous. Because those girls was on the Real Housewives shows with her. And the Don't Be Tardy thing with her. And, you know, they tried to strike out on their own. Kim, this is totally ridiculous. You got to think about, what was it? Gary Coleman, his family took his money. You got Webster, their family took their money. And then he was working as a security guard. This is just sick on so many levels. But you know what? Everything comes back to bite you in the butt because you tried to put all these people down that you was on that show with, that you was above them. And now look. And then make so bad for me about your house. It's just ridiculous. Kim just needed Kim need to be in rehab. She need to be in rehab. But that's all I got.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
You know, how low do you have to get before you do seek help? Where you not only um, waste and squander the money that your children have earned, but you still have the gall and to call them and ask them for continuous support. This woman is able-bodied to go get a job, a real job, and start actually taking care of her family. And I also blame the Child Protective Services, who I think they need to go in and start, they should have been going in and investigating how Kim takes care of these children, not just Kim, but Kroy too.
Mm-hmm.
So that law, that law that you were speaking of, Diva, is called the is it Coogan law. Um, it was done in the 1930s or 40s to protect. There was a child actor named Jackie Coogan, who his parents squandered the money that he made, and at that time it was a couple million, but it was the 40s, and that was a lot of money. But his parents um, wasted and squandered all his money, and when this child actor became 18, he was also penniless. Um, and Katrina's correct. We all know the story of Gary Coleman, but the latest one that I've been following is Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo
Mm-hmm.
Boo's mom, Mama June, also has been in the media lately for doing the same thing. The daughter did Dancing with the Stars and all those years of reality TV. Now she's going to college and she was expecting that money to go to school, and the mother has wasted all her money. So she ended up suing her and is suing her to get the money that the mother stole. I really think that these girls, because I believe the other older daughter of Kim, they should band together and they need to sue their mama. And I think Kim has more than just a shopping, plastic surgery, gambling. I really think she is addicted to medication that was given to her to after all these surgeries. I think she has some type of addiction or vice that Kim really needs some help on, and I think the state needs to step in, and she needs to be held accountable. And I don't think Kim is ashamed. I really think this woman has no shame that her daughter is out there now airing their dirty laundry. I mean, it just can't get no more embarrassing. You lost this beautiful home. You squandered all this money. You've been. I just don't get it. Kim was never my favorite. I don't like her, and I really think she needs some to be in therapy, but an in-person treatment center. Kim needs to go away for a while.
Yes, she does. I'm in agreement with you. I think she has zero shame. Zero shame. Julius, your thoughts?
Ooh,
Well,
so we're talking about good old Kim Zolciak and Roy. Another thorn in my side. I do want to say I do agree with the comment about her daughter who's on the show and her sister suing her mama. Savannah's comment actually, I do agree with that. They need to, and now they with with the daughter airing out Kim's business, so Kim now is turning to her daughters to be her piggy bank for all her addictions and all of this. That woman is a demon spawn to me. Okay, she's a waste of space. She's a waste of energy. She's not even a good mother. Um, and she doesn't even know how to. And this is coming from somebody who's still learning finances, but she squandered millions of dollars into nothing. Um, she needs to get a grip and she needs some holy water to get her life together. That's it. That's all.
all right. So I really the daughter Ariana, if you watch the show, she seems really sweet because she has a boyfriend, and her boyfriend, his family has money. He doesn't have to worry about a dime. But what I liked about Ariana is because they're looking for an apartment in New York. She said there's a budget, and she told him, "I don't want to get it." She said, "I want to pay my portion of the rent." And she said, I don't want to get into a place where I'm paying like $6,000 as my portion. I think as a result of seeing everything her mother went through and how her mother handled finances, I think that she's doing better. But I also think that she feels indebted to her mom for some reason, because to this day, if her mother calls her for money, she's still giving this mother money. Kim is just, she's deplorable, because she knows that her daughters are going to do anything for her. She's deplorable. So I'm going to go ahead and roll into yes.
What do you think the chances that Kim gonna show up on her daughter's show?
She probably will, because that's how crazy Kim is. Anything for clout and money. But like Savannah said, she really needs deep help. She needs to be in a facility somewhere getting help. I'm gonna roll into the last story, and the last story is this Bryana McKnight. Bryana McKnight, he's despicable. Let me share screen. There we go. So Bryana McKnight blasts tasteless brother for revealing his estranged son Nico's death. It turned into a circus. Bryana McKnight is crazy. Bryana McKnight blasted his tasteless brother Kroy Biermann for publicly announcing the singer's son had died from cancer. A big thanks to Kroy Biermann, tasteless and self-aggrandizing announcement on TikTok that frankly was not his to make, the singer wrote on Instagram Tuesday night. In my opinion, he inserted himself and used cold Nico McKnight's death as an opportunity instead of letting him pass with respect and dignity, he added. It has instead turned into a circus, a mockery of a life now lost, making this tragedy into a reality show type drama. Page Six has reached out to Kroy for a comment, but did not immediately hear back. Last Friday, the Take Six founder took TikTok to announce that his nephew had died on May 29th. He was 32. The morning I found out my nephew Nico McKnight passed away. He's been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so, the 62-year-old said in the clip. Nico was one of those amazing kids, quirky and curious and ridiculously talented, amazing singer, amazing guitar player. He had a great eye as a photographer, and one of those kids, at least in my estimation, that you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he is no longer with us, Kroy remembered. Later that day, Nico's mom, Julie McKnight, was forced to confirm the heartbreaking news in an Instagram statement before asking for privacy and continued prayers as the family navigates this incredibly difficult time. A source close to Nico's family exclusively tells Page Six that Kroy was out of order for publicly sharing that his nephew had died. Kroy didn't ask anyone, especially Nico's wife, to announce the passing. The insider further claims. Despite his outrage following the aspiring photographer's death, Brian and his son had been estranged. An insider told Page Six earlier this month that the Back at One singer 55 did not contact or see Nico when he was still alive. They also claim he has not reached out to the family after his son's passing. The source added that Nico was surrounded by an abundance of love and support from those who truly mattered, including his mother, Julie, his older brother, Bryana McKnight Jr., his wife, Carla, and other extended family members. While Brian did not make amends with Nico before his death, the R&B crooner claimed he and his wife, Liana Mendoza, their toddler son Brian, and her 2 other kids flew home to Maui and had a private memorial remember him in all the good times. The 7-time Grammy nominee wrote on Instagram Tuesday that the last time he and Nico spoke, he and his wife offered him all the help we could provide. We had the number 1 oncologist on deck for him and a team of specialists on standby with private care in our home. However, Brian claimed that Nico's mom, Julie, declined. The door of communication was open and remained open until his death, he wrote. To the self-proclaimed Mama Bear, may God have mercy on your soul for not allowing him to accept that help and not allowing us to use that line of communication. The musician said he and Mendoza, whom he wed in December 2017, and their kids are eternally thankful to the Almighty God that Nico's suffering has come to an end and grateful for all of your condolences. Brian, who shares son Brian Jr. and Nico with Julie, daughter Bryana with ex-Patricia Driver, and son Clyde with an unidentified woman, has an estranged relationship with his eldest 4 children for the last few years. In October 2023, he announced that he had legally changed his name to become a senior to his then newborn son, who he shares with Mendoza. Although he had already been a senior to his eldest son, Brian Jr. The following year, Brian claimed his estranged eldest children were a product of sin. Oh, God, this man. Let me play for you what the brother said, that Brian McKnight's brother that upset Brian so bad.
How could I not post about this? So all day, I said to myself I wasn't going to post about this. And as the day wore on, I realized that how could I not post about this? This morning, I found out that my nephew, Nico McKnight, passed away. He'd been bravely battling cancer for the last 2 years or so. And I have a lot of feelings right now. I'm not going off a script or anything like that. I'm just going to be raw with how I'm feeling. Nico was one of those amazing kids who was quirky and curious and ridiculously talented. Amazing singer, an amazing guitar player, had a great eye, was a photographer. And just one of those kids that, at least in my estimation, was somebody you always wanted to be around. And so it really sucks that he's no longer with us. And I will also say, probably one of the reasons why I wasn't going to post about it is I post a lot of things, but I don't post a lot of really, really serious subject things, or certainly family things. And I wanted to post this about Nico, about his legacy, about how amazing he is, and not about what some of you may have heard about, the family drama that has existed for quite some time in our family. I'm not here to discuss that or to talk about how that happened or why it happened. This is not the time or the place, but what I will say is, in any situation, there's always at least 3 sides to a story. There's my side, your side, and the truth. And the truth a lot of times is somewhere in between. So here's the thing. I don't know exactly what was going on there. I know what I've seen. I know what I've heard from all parties involved. And I try not to judge. I just try to be as loving to each person as I can be, because apparently there's so much hurt going on, or was so much hurt going on, that a lot of things didn't get resolved. And again, I want to go back to Nico. I know that kid had a lot inside, a lot eating at him for a long, long, long time. That may have contributed to what happened with him. What I do know is he's out of pain now. And so I can rejoice in the fact that he no longer has to go through the chemo and the radiation and everything else. But I just want to uplift that young man and say we will see him again one day. I love you, Nico. Uncle Claude.
Now he's driving and doing the video. A whole hot stinking mess, but that's that. Now let's see. Brian McKnight was pissed that his brother Claude did that. So we'll take a listen.
And self-aggrandizing announcement on TikTok that frankly was not his to make. In my opinion, he inserted himself and used Nico's death as an opportunity instead of letting him pass with respect and dignity. It has instead turned into a circus, a mockery of a life now lost, making this tragedy into a reality show type drama. While that was unfolding, my family and I flew home to Maui and had a private memorial remembering him and all the good times. The last time he and I spoke, we offered him all the help we could provide. We had the #1 oncologist on deck for him and a team of specialists on standby with private care in our home. He and his mother declined. The door of communication was open and remained open until his death. To the self-proclaimed mama bear, May God have mercy on your soul for not allowing him to accept that help and not allowing him to use that line of communication. There is great comfort in knowing God knows the truth and the totality of the whole story. I am truly thankful for the immense peace God has given me, and I've left everything in his hands. I have a clear conscience. The only judgment that matters is God's. My wife, our children, and I are eternally thankful to Almighty God that the suffering has come to an end and grateful for all of your condolences. Thanks to those of you who have known the truth from the beginning and haven't let untruths, half-truths, or slander prejudice your opinion. A big, big thanks to Claude McKnight's tasteless and self-aggrandizing announcement on
Brian McKnight is a different type of special. Wayne, your thoughts?
That was garbage.
Wasn't it?
You did a show before when we did it on him before, and I kind of remember how he really just dissed his family. They wasn't his. He changed his sons, something with the younger son, whatever. He just totally ignored the family. Now Brian was supposed to make this right before this young man passed.
Yes.
If he had to go through hell and high water, okay. To me, it sounds like because he had the money, it was no love there. Okay, and I think that was just for publicity. Well, I got the best oncologist for him. I got that. Was you by his bedside when he had those treatments? Did you just show up? Somebody had to be the bigger person. This is just garbage. And he's mad because his brother was able to say good things about his son that he could. See, Brian should be making that speech about his son. Good times and, a good, we hung in there, but he couldn't. So he's mad because his brother said it. He should have used all this energy that he talked about his brother saying that and all that, and just did a nice speech about his son. Dedicate things to his son. Okay, he's the one blowing it up to some like a reality show. So this is just ridiculous. That video you did before, I could not believe. It's like he hated his people. And the only child he had was that boy, that young boy by that lady. In his speech, in his tone, there was no love, no empathy, or anything. I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, Wayne. I'm with you. And he's getting mad with his son's mother. His son is a grown man. And if you wanted to give him that help, he didn't have to move in the house with you. If you wanted to help your son, you could have gave him the money, still had him going to the best oncologist. He didn't have to live with you to do that. So stop blaming the mom saying that she wouldn't let you do this. What man would stand by and not do something for their child because a mom saying not to? Be for real. And plus, this young man was grown. He was a grown man with a wife. So if you still want to help your son, there was no reason why you couldn't help your son. He didn't have to stay with you to get the oncologist, to get the best treatment, to do all that. He didn't have to do all that. All you had to do was say, well, listen, if you need me, I'm here. Here's some money. If you need money for this, money for that. That's not what you did. And now you're getting mad with your brother because your brother came out and did, like Wayne said, something that you supposed should have did. And if you didn't respect what your brother said, you didn't have to come back and comply. You came back and complied. You went to Maui with the family or whatsoever. We don't care. We know you can't sell any more concert tickets. So I guess this is your way of trying to get into the unto the into the cycle or whatsoever, and nobody really listens to you anymore. You call your kids devil spawn. So we supposed to say that you had open line of communication with your son till he passed away. Doubt it, because if you had open communication with your son when he passed away, you would have made sure that he was going to the best oncologist. We're not buying it. We're not buying it. Go on with your nurse, whatever she is, doctor, whatever she's supposed to be, because she needs help too. Because no man is gonna take care of your children when he couldn't take care of his own kids before then. Girl, please. But we'll see how I go. Rest in peace, young man. Your dad can. I ain't gonna even say the words, but anyway, rest in peace. That's all I got.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
You know, when you start pointing fingers at others, there's three more pointing back at you.
Mm.
Brian used to be one of the most biggest disappointments because I used to be a fan of Brian McKnight. And I don't know what inner turmoil he has been going through over the last few years. But, sir, when it comes time for you to take your last breath, who's going to be around your bedside?
Mm.
That's all I could think about is how he made this he made this event, unfortunate event, into a social media um, wannabe drama infused and about him and his new family. I agree with wholeheartedly with Wayne that the uncle spoke of the young man, and just as Brian should have spoke about him, and to throw stones at his mother. Where have you been, sir? Where have you been? We have heard nothing but you um, being nasty, being low down to your children from your first marriage to your daughter to this young man who is no longer here on this earth. But I believe he had a family. And if you want to do right by him, do right by that family. And if there's grandchildren involved, he should do right by him and do right by that family. So Brian is just a new type of low, despicable. I don't give him the title of father because he definitely does not earn it. And Father's Day is next weekend, and it's a shame that this is one of the examples of a father that's out there. So um, rest in peace, and may the mother have a village around her, um, helping her get through this difficult time.
Thank you, Savannah. I appreciate you. Julius, your thoughts?
This man, you're mad at your own brother for showing love for his nephew. That's what it comes down to. These were your kids that you made, that the good Lord helped you bring into this world. But you're mad at his uncle for showing him grace, love, and empathy in his passing. So, because your ego was bruised again, you had to do all that word salad. You had a song called Back at One. That's like the line in your song. I would say you're now back at a negative 100 infinity if it goes up to that point. You did not once try to reach out to your son, because if you did, in this time, you would not be criticizing his mother. You came out with that statement because your ego is bruised and people are still dragging you for filth, justifiably and rightly so. Miss us with the narcissistic saving face word salad. You're 50, semi almost 60 years old, or you're probably in your 60s. I do not know. And guess what? I do not care. It's time for you to get a grip and get over yourself. That's it.
Oh, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all for coming through and hanging out with me. This was Trending Topics Wednesday. What a mess. The Diddy trial, messy. Ariana Biermann, I pray to God, and I understand how you kind of like between a rock and a hard place when you are the child and your mother is begging you for money. It's like, what do you do? I feel for her, right? And then Brian McKnight, listen, I love Brian McKnight's work, but you know what? I'm good. I can do without him. I think the way that he's handled and is handling his children from previous relationships are deplorable. I think he's a sad excuse for a father. And this wife now, good luck to you, honey, because why would you want that type of energy, loving on your kids from another relationship? And you, of all people, when you are a woman that has children from a previous relationship and those children fathers are not in their lives, why would you want to get with somebody and he not be in his children's lives? Like, are you crazy? You know how it feels. Why would you want somebody else's children to go through that? But you know what? She's a fool. So anyway, guys, if y'all didn't hit that like button on the way in, do me a favor and hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.